I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Tuesday. Good afternoon and welcome. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Brought to you by our friends at Happy State Bank. We're watchable on TV, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku, however, wherever you're watching, listening from. We're glad that you've decided to make us part of your Tuesday. We being myself, Chois Woodman, and Jeff McGuire once again joins us here in the First United Bank studio.
What's up?
Got Thomas Dye across the way taking care of us. You can hit us up if you'd like to. Thoughts, comments, questions, hopes, dreams, whatever you got. Bring it in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. Take the app anywhere with you, even listening out in Lilydale, Kentucky. What's up, Jeffrey?
It is a great day for baseball. We have both the Rangers and Astros in action.
We do have baseball. That's good.
I get to hear 6 White Sox games on the radio this week.
That's nice for you.
It is kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to enjoy this week.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I mean, your team might lose 4 of those.
I'm really hoping they just win Thursday. That's the one. If I could circle
Martin
one,
start?
that's the Davis Martin start.
Okay.
As much as I want them to win every game, if I could pick just one.
I'll actually root for them to win the next 3.
The next 3, yeah.
And then lose the next 3 after that.
Which is also what Bullfighter is hoping for as well.
Yeah.
He mentioned that this morning. But
I'll root for
it's going to be a busy sports radio weekend for me, getting to enjoy some White Sox baseball.
Of course.
And cheer on the 3 teams that I pay the most attention to in their own way.
Fair enough. But you actually kind of pull for the Rangers. You don't actually
I pull for the Rangers.
You don't pull for the Astros, do you?
I don't pull against them.
Okay. Well, maybe we can work on that.
You got to remember, I grew up in Houston.
I know.
Now,
that's why
I am much more of a...
There's teams in Houston you don't like because you grew up in Houston.
The University of is really the only one.
That's the only one?
Yeah, that's the only one.
No disdain for the...
How do you hate Rice?
No, it's not Rice. I'm talking about the Texans.
No, I don't have anything against... The Texans weren't around when I was there. They came after I was already up here.
Right.
And at that point, I had shifted my allegiance to the Dallas Cowboys completely at that point.
There's a lot of Houston people that don't like the Texans because they're not the Oilers, though.
The only thing I don't like is they don't have the blue uniform that they should have, that everybody with a brain knows they should have, except for the people in Nashville. But,
Yeah.
those people are evil and deserve any punishment that...
It's a little strong.
I am not a fan of that ownership group. Anyway, I'm not a fan of that franchise. The Love You Blue Oiler uniform belongs in Houston.
Love You Blue? Is that an official
That's the color? Love You Blue. I don't know if it's the official color.
Okay.
But yeah, that baby blue uniform, that belongs in Houston with an oil derrick on the side where there's actually oil being pumped as opposed to Nashville, Tennessee.
So if the Titans were to sell the rights to the Oilers name or give the rights back to Houston...
It would correct a wrong that was done when they moved the franchise.
They could do that just like we saw the Ravens give the Browns. It was the Ravens that gave the Browns,
Well, that was the NFL
right?
that did that. The NFL said you can move the Browns to Baltimore, but they will be a new team and all records stay in Cleveland. That was the NFL that did that.
Okay.
Now, they didn't argue. The Ravens didn't argue that because they were also going to a place where the Colts had been.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of more inherited that aspect of it. I remember that first opening weekend with the Ravens that they brought out all the Colts favorites from the old time Colts. Like Johnny Unitas was there, and all of them started with their jackets on, and when they took them off, they were all wearing what their version of the Raven jersey would look like.
Do you think the Texans would do that? Do you think brass for the Texans, if they had a chance to be the Oilers again?
Would they be the Oilers again? No. Would they buy that
switch?
Uniform again? I think they absolutely would.
Would they switch over to the Oilers? It's full on do the switch.
I don't know that they would switch over, but I think they would.
I think
that
they
would
should.
be their throwback.
I thought
if
they
that
did
makes
that.
sense.
I thought they did that this year.
No. Tennessee did that against Texas, the Texans this year.
Is that right?
Yes, it's Tennessee owns that logo and that uniform.
Okay.
And when U of H did their homage to it, it was the Titans that sued them through the NFL so that they couldn't use it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing good about that football franchise, the one in Tennessee.
Wow. Well, they haven't won anything, but
I so want a piece of that field of the 1 yard short. I'm not like a huge memorabilia guy. I would love 1 yard of that field.
Wow.
That one specific yard.
Wow.
To prevent them from winning a Super Bowl.
Okay. So we'll take your thoughts. We will get into a lot of different topics, a lot of football topics, wrapping the softball season still, and moving on to portal season for softball and baseball, as Texas Tech has one incoming transfer portal player in baseball and a lot of outgoing. So we'll get into some of those, including another name in the portal for Texas Tech baseball. Continue some of this house settlement conversation. If you got questions on that, we'll answer them to the best of our abilities. I posted a article up at TTSportsNetwork.com that has Big 12 stadium rankings of just stadiums I've been to. There's still 5 that I've in the new Big 12 that I haven't gone to. So it's okay. This is a new thing. It's going to be my top 10 on the 10th. I'm a list guy, so I'm like, why not lean into it? We'll go with.
So on the 10th of each month.
On the 10th of each month, I'll post a top 10 list, and we'll. This can be sports related, and it will be most of the time, but there will be
top 10 ice creams,
road trip snacks, ice cream flavors, all of the above. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, cereals. I mean, it's Halloween. We might get into Halloween candies, whatever. So you can go find that, and we'll get into some of those stadium rankings a little bit later. Phil Steele has posted his rankings of the Big 12. So
when's his magazine come out?
I think right now we get all of the pieces. Yeah, pieces. So like a ranking this day and then this. So I think we're leading up to it. I don't know when the official magazine comes out.
That is, we all agree that
maybe
is the
July
Bible.
1.
That is the Bible of college, of really high school and college football.
I think it used to be. I don't think it's the Bible the way we talk about high school is the Dave Campbell's. High school Bible.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's the Bible when it comes to Texas high school football. Phil Steele, I mean, it's a great publication, so I'm not going to besmirch it, but there's a lot out there that you can find in the realm of college football nowadays. So we'll get into plenty of those things, normal staples, tell me I'm wrong, question of the day, all of the above coming up. You're hanging out with the Bottom Line. Got headlines for you straight ahead right here on 100.7 The Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Like, I don't have a bunch of it, but there's some specific things, like a Warren Moon jersey, or that 1 yard. It doesn't even have to be like just a picture, a 3-inch stripe of turf with a score underneath it in a frame. I would know. Everybody would see that, would know.
Yep.
Like little things like that mean something to me.
Apparently, multiple people did call for, oh my goodness, to fire Glasgow after the intentional walk gone wrong. And Viva 73 says these are the people that probably watched their first softball game that night this season.
I get it, but I don't.
Look, if you got fired after one mistake at your job, no one would have a job anywhere. No one would have a job anywhere. It was a mistake. It was a mistake by probably 3 people. You can point blame to. Nyjah Kennedy probably gets the most of the blame, and she took
it.
blame.
Absolutely, she did.
She did what she was supposed to, and probably took more blame than she deserved. But Victoria Valdez could have called time and said, "Hey, we need to." After the first pitch goes too close,
hang on a minute. Here.
But Victoria Valdez probably should have stood a whole step further over too, and Jerry Glasgow should have called time.
It's not like he didn't know how.
And Nyjah Kennedy, obviously, she's the one that's got to execute there. So it's you can put blame 3 different places. It's one of the roughest ways to give up a lead, but
also give credit to the Texas hitter.
Yeah, for being ready,
because she was ready and saw that after the first pitch, I might have a shot at this.
Yeah. Viva 73 says, during the transfer portal, I hope Tech picks up a new ace pitcher for the next season. Kennedy does not need to pitch every game and have every inning all season long. If we do that, we'll win a national championship next season.
Well, she didn't pitch every game all season.
No, she actually took a lot of rest early in the season when she had a hamstring issue. And
but I would agree. I don't
know if you can attract another ace level pitcher. I mean, I guess you can if you get enough cash. We've seen what that looks like. But whoever you bring in pitcher-wise knows they're going to be sitting and potentially sitting just like
pitching once a week as opposed to 3.
Or just potentially sitting through a Women's College World Series again.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing is you can use them a lot during the regular season, but when it comes right down to it, you're going to ride Kennedy again.
The final game aside, because it was bad, the final game. Was pitching your problem in the College World Series?
I think you lacked on some clutch hitting. Multiple times.
No, I think you had
innings.
Clutch hitting.
I think you lacked on clutch hitting. Clutch hitting meaning runners in scoring position.
Sure, you loaded the bases, but it felt like this team hit in bunches, and it was contagious when they did hit.
I think you need more hitting, and you've already addressed that in one player.
Sure.
I'm sure you will.
You need a fire starter is what you need on this team, and a run driver inner.
Look, if you take the exact same team and your one player that you've added in the portal
and run it back, I'm not upset.
You will have a chance to win the national championship next year.
Well, sure.
You can do it.
You had a chance this year.
I think you lose... 2 players, 2 seniors? And this is off the top of my head without looking.
I think you lose 2 seniors, and I think I've seen 1 person enter the portal.
Okay. Who was that?
I don't remember who it was, but I think
was it a starter? I think you lose 2 starters is what I'm saying. Langoliers, I think, was a senior, and was Elder a senior? I can't remember.
I think Elder was a senior.
Anyway, you got a couple that are gone from next year, but you're going to have a pretty good stacked squad coming back. All right, Phil Steele has put out his top 40 list, and he also put out a top Big 12 list, Jeff.
Okay.
All 16 teams in the Big 12 per his rankings. Can you take a guess at who's at the very bottom of the league?
Of our league? Would that be the Oklahoma State Cowboys? Apparently not.
It is not. They're 14.
They're 14. Would it be the Utah Utes?
That would be no. Utah he has as tied for first.
In our league?
Yeah.
The one that Texas Tech plays in?
That would be the one. Yep. There's a whole lot that are doubling down on Utah saying that was a one-off. There's a whole lot of media members that are saying that. And I'm not sure they're not wrong. I mean, they're not correct. But I would not put them as a number 1 team or close to it. At
Arizona.
Point. They're 15th.
Okay. Man.
And you'd be looking towards Chuck's boy, Rich Rod.
Really? West Virginia?
West Virginia, 16th.
I was going to go Houston next, and then maybe West Virginia.
So.
Huh. Wow, I'm shocked by Utah.
Yeah.
That's
He put out his season preview, and someone put it all together based off of this, but there's a three-way tie, so I don't know exactly how this works, but there's a three-way tie for first, a three-way tie for fourth, a two-way tie for seventh, a two-way tie for ninth, and then it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm sure this is all
tells me
rankings.
there's tiers of the Big 12.
So Baylor, Utah, Iowa State is his upper echelon. Arizona State, Kansas State, Texas Tech is in the next group. TCU, BYU, Cincinnati, Kansas, and it's Houston, UCF, Colorado at 12, OSU, Arizona, and West Virginia, 14, 15, 16. I mean, Phil Steele stuff is, I think he uses all sorts of stuff. I don't think it's all analytics-based like so many things. I'm seeing a lot of the computer stuff, though, the analytics-based percentage stuff that does not like Texas Tech. And I don't know if that is because you can't, a computer doesn't factor in portal or roster as much if it just goes off of a lot of what you did a season ago. I don't know, because I saw another one, an FPI ranking that gives percentage chance to win the Big 12, and that Tech was like 7th on that list.
Whoa.
And that's ESPN's FPI that gives Tech.
Are we just...
Yeah.
Okay, don't get me wrong. Like, we are as guilty as anybody of the rose-colored glasses. But I don't think my glasses are that red. I cannot believe that 7th? Like, if they were to say 4th...
These are computer-based
4th
rankings.
or 3rd, I'd listen. Be like, okay, I can see where they're going. 7th? Wow. Okay. Maybe I need to clean some tint out of my glasses.
And I do wonder that. Are we just too entrenched here, too excited by additions?
And I think I'm being really cautious.
But I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case because most of the human rankings out there have Texas Tech 1, 2, or 3. Yeah. Almost everything you see, whether unless his name is Joe Klatt, who has a beef with Texas Tech, unless
we didn't let him in. That's what happened.
Unless it's Joe Klatt, almost every human-based ranking has Texas Tech 1, 2, or 3 in the preseason predictions. But the computers don't like the Red Raiders as much.
Well,
interesting.
I don't like you computers. That's a lie.
Yeah, right. You like computers more than anybody.
Probably in this building.
Yeah, I was going to say, in this building, the whole building. It is the bottom line.
Okay, I hate those computers. There we go.
That's fair.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Alongside Jamie Lent, I'm Chois Woodman. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. 100.7 The Score mobile app. Y'all keep chiming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We're talking some transfer portal for Texas Tech baseball. You got a lot of spots open. We know that. So if you want to utilize those, I don't know how big the high school class is coming in.
Yeah, I don't think it's super big, and I think there's a reason for that.
So it looks like I'm sure you will start.
They're trying to get older, more physical, all the above.
And I think it's more than just whispers at this point. Texas Tech is going to make a stronger push, or donors will make a stronger push to spend some money. And I think your addition from Maryland and Hollis Porter, you probably spent some money to get him, as he was sought after by quite a few bigger name schools as well. I would
assume so. I mean, we haven't seen any of the guys in the transfer portal that you would have worried about heading into the offseason, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Logan Hughes, the TJ Pompeys of the world, even guys like maybe a Damian Bravo or Robin Villeneuve or Tracer Lopez, who have a year of eligibility left but are also draft eligible. And so maybe they would have thought, hey, I can, if I hit the portal, we've heard guys do that. I hit the portal, now I have even more leverage, right?
Right.
Because I can have two different teams, trying to bid for me and a major league team bidding for me. You haven't seen any of that. And so I assume that there has been a push. I have heard rumors of this to to find ways to keep these guys in the fold and then bring guys in. So I think that, you see guys that are playing in the Cape or they're playing in the Northwoods League, and they're all guys that look like they're still going to be Red Raiders. But you just never know until that portal period ends, which I believe is all the way to the end of the month.
Right. It's a very long one.
You just never know.
Okay, Jamie, so College World Series, we know the 8 teams after your guys at Murray State won last night.
My guys?
Yeah, you were rooting for them.
I was.
All right, so we know that Arizona's the team that's at the top of your list. Now, 2 through 8, rank the teams in terms of your rooting interest in the College World Series.
Okay. So,
Arizona's 1, and I'm with you on that.
Okay.
In terms of who you want to see win it.
Okay. Number 8 is Arkansas.
Okay. I'm with you there.
Number 7 is LSU.
Same here. We're going to have some similarities, I'm sure.
Oh, man. Number 2 is Murray State.
Now you're scatter shooting.
Number 3 is Coastal.
Okay. We are completely alike so far. So 4, 5, and 6. We'll see if we land the same.
4, Oregon State.
Okay. This is exactly the same.
So I've got Louisville and UCLA left. Now I'm just trying to guess what Choice is thinking because I really
go
don't
opposite.
care. I'm going to go Louisville 5 and UCLA 6.
100% the same.
Yeah.
And it is conference affiliation has a lot to do with it. Also, don't like LA and all that goes on out there with the snootiness.
Snooty.
So, but Arkansas, I think I've stated this before. I think outside of A&M, Texas, former Big 12 foes, Arkansas is probably my least favorite school that's not in the Big 12 or have former Big 12 ties.
Yeah, I don't have that much hatred for LSU, to be honest with you. They're just in the SEC.
Right.
I don't want the SEC to
I want someone not named the SEC to win this thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got 3 group of 5 or 4 team. Sorry, whatever group of non-Power 5 schools.
Yes.
We'll go with that. You got 3 non-Power 5 schools. Yeah. Oregon State still feels like it.
I really don't love Coastal Carolina either, to be honest with you.
Because they beat us that one time?
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
Actually, we beat us that one time.
We did beat us.
They were on the opposite, but we gave up opposite dugout, but we gave up 4 unearned runs. We're just kicking the ball all over the yard.
Good had one of his, 4 errors of his career?
Yeah.
I mean, something like that. Yeah. In that game, everything was. Mm-hmm. We led that game 3-0 to start. We jumped out to a lead in that.
I don't remember.
I want to say Tanner Gardner had a double that got us up early.
It's believable.
I'm not 100% sure on that one. That's the only reason I have memories of that one is that is the only College World Series game I've attended.
Oh, you went to that one.
That's the only one I've been to. Well, now I've been the only men's College World Series game.
There you go.
Might be good advice for young men trying to pick up a single mom cougar. Just ease around the market with an empty stroller.
Yeah, I don't know, though. I mean,
I don't know if that's working. Like,
because they're like, hey, this guy can't take care of my child.
Yeah.
He might lose her.
Yeah.
Or him.
East Texas starts just outside of Abilene. I don't think that's how it works.
Is there no Central Texas in your life?
I thought Central is like Austin and San Antonio.
Okay, so what's Dallas?
Dallas is North Texas.
North Texas.
That's what they call it. I don't.
Okay, well,
the geography of Texas is jacked up. Because we shouldn't be West Texas, but we are. West Texas is El Paso.
Yeah.
Like actual we're West Texas, but that's actual West Texas out there.
Yeah, but we're still in the West.
Or Little Mexico,
we're
if you
like
want to call it that.
2 hours from the border. That's West Texas.
Yeah, sure. Well, less than that. It's like, I think we're 60 minutes from Clovis.
Oh, is that how far it is? Okay.
Pretty close, yeah.
I drive slower than you, Choice.
That's not true. You do once you
cross
that.
It is true.
You do when you cross that New Mexico border. You definitely drive slower. Oh, man. These people. I saw an interesting thing, flipping over to football here. And I saw this on one of the chat groups or whatever. But College Football Live on Twitter posted this. On a neutral field, who is winning in 2025? And they posted Tennessee and Texas Tech. So this has fan bases from all over chiming in. And I think I was surprised to see most of the comments had Texas Tech winning. I get Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, Tennessee's quarterback leaving probably had a lot to do with that.
But they
spent didn't they? Am I remembering incorrectly didn't they spend a lot of time in the top 10 last year?
They did.
Yeah.
Were they in the playoff? They were in the playoff, right?
No. Just outside.
Just outside. Okay. They were a team they're a team that's hung around the playoff conversation the last 2 seasons. Heupel has had them relevant again.
Absolutely.
I think Tennessee is a really good program. They did the trade, right? Didn't they trade UCLA's quarterback for theirs?
Did they?
Amalivia, I think, went to UCLA, and then I think UCLA's bounced to Tennessee after that.
Goodness.
Our first trade in college football.
Super fun.
But I guess I was just surprised that, and there was obviously Red Raider fans in there, and there were Tennessee fans chiming in for their own. But a lot of the more neutral ones went with Texas Tech on that answer. And I guess I still expect SEC fans to SEC, but a lot of them said, well, because of Tennessee's quarterback situation, I'd go Texas Tech here.
Well, obviously, that's a key thing. They don't know enough about our quarterback situation to feel like it's in question with his health.
Yeah, just don't listen to the morning drive and you'll be okay.
Yeah. They just know that we spent more than anybody else in the transfer portal period to nab the top ranked transfer portal class in the country. And so they know that enough to know that this team should be loaded.
I guess I'm just interested and curious to see how the rest of the country reacts or responds to Texas Tech spending that money. Is it you have expectations for the Red Raiders to do good things, or it's they did it, but we'll wait and see?
Everybody during the softball run, specifically when you were at the Women's College World Series, it felt like there was a bias with the broadcasters against Texas Tech, and I'm not going to disagree with it.
I had similar feelings, yeah.
Okay, and I think that we've talked about this a little bit, but that the tight-knit softball world, they were rooting for the team that had been there a bunch and, had been close and all that, and not necessarily the upstart that just kind of, found their way there, just from, how you flipped a coin and went from pretty average to really, really good. I think it's different in football. I don't think it'll be thought of as it was in softball, because I think it's so much harder in football. You can't just get one player and it completely changed things.
But you didn't get just one player. You got a lot of players in football.
Yeah, absolutely. Tech, yeah, I know. But obviously in softball, Nigeri Kennedy was the biggest thing that changed your fortunes.
So bottom line on 100.7 Score.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's Tuesday with the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. 100.7 The Score mobile app. Chois Woodman, Jamie Lent, yours in the First United Bank studio. Keep hitting us up. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions, whatever you got, bring them all in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. Before we get to our question of the day, correction on the chat line. Tennessee was in the playoff. They got smoked in the first round by Ohio State. We blame Thomas. He's our computer over there.
Okay, but it was like a home game. Come on.
That's part of the playoff now.
That's weird.
Still counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's...
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
we're going to piggyback kind of off of the conversation and expectations for Texas Tech. We've talked about expectations, and we're still 3 months away. We've talked about them for 3 months and beyond. Higher expectations for the Red Raiders. But, Jamie, as we sit here on June 10th, if someone says, I will give you $10,000.
I will accept it.
Okay. If someone says, I'll give you $10,000 if you correctly predict Texas Tech's postseason game that they will play in, whether it's a bowl game or college football playoff round, whatever. But you've got to get it correct. What would your prediction be sitting here on June 10th that Texas Tech's postseason game is? If you want, I can give you the pecking order of the bowl games. The Alamo Bowl's at the top, or beyond the college football playoff. The Alamo Bowl is the top Big 12 bowl. Pop-Tarts Bowl is second. I believe we still have Texas Bowl as third.
Okay, you can just stop right there.
Okay, you don't want to go beyond? Guess lower than that?
Thomas, would you guess lower than the third bowl not in the playoff for the Red Raiders?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Okay, we don't have to keep going then.
I don't have a reason. I am going to say that I cannot make up my mind. I am going to say you will be in the Alamo Bowl. I don't have a reason to say you won't be the team that wins the Big 12 because this team is so much better, or because you can't do this, or because you're not this, or because everybody else is that.
Well, I think your reasoning...
I don't. Maybe I'm a bit of a scarred Red Raider fan. I don't really see myself as scarred, but just can't imagine Tech being in the Big 12 championship game, winning it, and going to the college football playoffs.
It's hard to imagine it.
So I'm playing the middle here. I'm saying they're going to be in the Big 12 championship game, but they're not going to win it.
Okay.
I don't have a good reason.
I think your reasoning is that there were two teams that were right there last year that ended up playing in the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you had BYU and Colorado who had identical records to the two teams, or identical conference records to the two teams that played in the Big 12 championship, and they didn't get there. So it is absolutely possible and plausible that you can have an excellent season and still not end up in the college football
What bowl
playoff.
game did Iowa State end up in?
The Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Was the third one
Yes, because
or the second one?
I think that's second. I think they just chose it that way. They bowls can kind of pick ahead and below.
And also remember that BYU and Colorado, one was representing the Pac-12.
Exactly. So they played each other.
Colorado was representing the Pac-12.
Which I'm
BYU
not
was
certain
not
on that.
representing the Pac-12. They were never in the
They could.
Pac-12.
They could if they want. They're further packed than Colorado is. I'm not sure, by the way, if what the Pac-12 bowl situation is like this year. I think we have one more year of doing it like last year, where
Really?
they tie back in. I was kind of hoping we'd inherit some of those bowls and just to get some new flavor in the Big 12.
Sure.
I think we'll see that in the future. Jamie's ready for the Las Vegas Bowl to be part of the Big 12.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to go cover it.
You've been to almost every bowl game in recent years, right?
I know. I missed last year.
Okay. All right, Thomas. You got your $10,000 on the line here.
All right. Texas Tech versus SMU in the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Oh, he's got it even specific.
Keep going.
Okay. So where do you have us finishing in the Big 12? Like third or fourth?
That would be third or fourth to get there. Yeah, likely.
So we're not going to make the Big 12 championship game.
We might make the game, but we might lose it.
Because Iowa State did make the game and
happen.
lost.
Yeah. Well, I don't really like Thomas today.
What? You said the same thing. Yours was basically the same. Fine, Jamie. I'll make you like me based off of that. Except, I'm jaded. somewhat. I think Texas Tech will play in the college football playoff as the 9th seed.
The 9th seed?
Which is, they will find a way to
not host.
To have to travel. Yeah. Which would be still there and still fun, but I think you very well could be one of those teams, and Texas Tech may not be the only one. If there's another ACC representative or someone in that same realm with this new seeding, I think you absolutely might see some questionability of who hosts and who does not.
Questionability.
Yeah. So, like, Tech may be worthy of hosting. Heck, we've seen the 8-9 thing come up in NCAA baseball seeding. That's a huge difference. Fortunately, we were on the right side of it one time.
Tech and Oklahoma State. Yeah.
Yep. We were on the right side of that.
Gosh.
Because if you weren't, you probably don't make it to Omaha. Who knows? You never know. But
we've played pretty well up there over the years.
That is a good point. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we have more wins than losses in O'Brate Stadium. But so y'all could chime in. Tell us what you would expect on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Alamo Bowl from someone. Another one says jaded. Bobby Hot Dog says, as an Astros fan, and I'm sure Yankee fan Jamie can also relate, I'm already used to my team being hated, so I embrace the villain role. God bless Double Eagle and their mountains of NIL money. There you go. There's a report out today or yesterday that said Tech is, with NIL combined with the new revenue sharing, going to spend $50 million, $50 to $55 million. Whew.
It's big stuff.
That's a lot of money. Like, does this just continue forever? Because the NIL stuff is the biggest question I have coming out of the House settlement. Is there going to be enforcement or is there not? Because we learned last week that an MLB exec will be the one that's the CEO enforcing things. Mm-hmm. How much enforcement is there? And does it just turn into more lawsuits?
You know it will.
Yeah, because you're telling people what they can and can't make without a collective bargaining agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, until you see a model almost exactly like the professional league's model, we're going to continue to see litigation. We're going to continue to see murkiness. And, I mean, we might have changes here and there every other year, but who's going to tell people that they can't spend on NIL? And when they do, what's the enforcement? What's the penalty? Because the NCAA is not going to bite the hand that feeds it.
Nope.
So, I don't know. I just walk away from this House settlement stuff with more questions than I do feeling like there's any sort of resolve.
Me too. Like, what's for dinner? And
what is for dinner?
How many games do you think the Red Raider football team will win this year? And
okay, all good questions.
Like, which pair of Under Armour shoes should I wear tomorrow? These are the questions.
What if you wear an Adidas shirt?
These are the questions that I have. I don't have any questions about the House settlement.
What if you wear an Adidas shirt, Jamie?
I probably won't.
Can you wear the Under Armour shoes with Adidas?
I cannot, no.
I just want to see if your head explodes.
I would have the shakes.
No, Jamie's not on coke. It's just his shoes and shirt don't match. It's the bottom line. I have a joke for you next.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Tuesday with the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app, as well as on TV, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube, Fire Stick, Roku. However you're taking us in, we're glad that you've decided to make us part of your Tuesday. Jamie Lent sits to my right. I'm Chois Woodman. Thomas Dye across the way. Y'all can continue to chime in. Your thoughts, comments, questions, hopes, dreams, whatever you got, bring them in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line as we will continue to read some of those. You could take that chat line anywhere with you via the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Even listen in if you are out in odd West Virginia. I think a lot of them fairly odd up there.
Fairly?
Okay, a lot.
There's odd people everywhere.
I think I rode in 3 Ubers in the state of West Virginia, and every single one of them just a different breed of person. It's just different.
Would you say most Uber drivers are a little different?
Yeah, but not...
No? Not too bad?
It just depends. I mean, I guess... It just depends where you're at.
It's funny, in different jobs, the characteristics of the people are similar. Like, for example, my years of being of traveling with the Texas Tech baseball team, it feels like the bus drivers are always uber talkative people.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, uber talkative people.
Okay. That's why Chuck likes his bus drivers
I feel
so
like
much.
Uber's drivers always give me the feeling of some sort of serial killerness.
Okay. Yeah. Not all Uber drivers are that way. Good to know that Jamie gets all of those.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm trying to be as respectful as possible towards the folks at West Virginia, because they're not bad people, but they're about as backwoods as I've ever seen. Most that I've come across in that state, and it's a small sample size, but most that I had come across in that state are them in Arkansas.
Not Oklahoma.
There's so many different types of people in Oklahoma. I think redneck and backwoods are 2 different things to me.
I call them all relatives.
Okay. There we go.
Those are my people choice.
They're your people.
Those
redneck,
are my
backwoods. Let's see. That has Chuck written all over it. I think that was in reference to the grandpa shower. Chuck does seem like the guy that would have a grandpa shower or grandma. Oh yeah, you know. You'd probably call it a grandma shower.
Please don't use Chuck and shower in the same sentence.
Hey yo, Resident Aggie says John Wayne and the Cowboys, great father figure.
Okay.
I've still never finished that movie.
Okay.
The Cowboys is where he
rides a horse.
I think he dies in that one. And I don't like to see John Wayne die, so...
If he dies, he dies.
That's Rocky IV. He's not a good father. Marlin and Finding Nemo.
I don't know that I've seen Finding Nemo.
I think that's... You don't... Marlin is how I picture you with your kids, so you need to watch it.
What does that mean, Thomas? What does it mean, Thomas?
Let's move on.
What does it mean, Thomas?
You're a good swimmer. We'll go with that one.
He might be very protective of his kids. That's all.
He also lost his kid. But
he did lose his kid, but
Marlin did?
Marlin lost his kid. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I never lost him. I mean, I found him.
Well, eventually, it's called Finding Nemo, so
okay.
Eventually he found him.
Okay.
That's not actually what I was going for. It was the helicopter dad stuff. He won't let his kid go anywhere without him. It's like, wait.
I'm not that
Brush
way.
with anemone.
I'm not that way.
No, I'm joking. Somewhat.
I don't miss many sporting events.
No.
But the rest of the time, let him go.
Well, that's good.
Tell him to go get a job.
Get a job.
Or get in the gym, one or the other. Just get off your phone.
Get off your phone.
Get off your phone.
I need to teach my kid that. Steve Martin is the same character basically in Parenthood and Father of the Bride, just from different points of focus. Good shows. Okay. Maybe I need to watch Parenthood. Mm-hmm. Eddie Murphy's character in Daddy Daycare.
Funny character, yeah.
He's funny. He was a good dad. He stayed home with his kid. Mm-hmm. Created a whole daycare for him. Mm-hmm. Jamie, was it you or Chuck telling the story of the bus driver who wouldn't shut up, just yelling things out to the team and basically said they were cheering for the other team? Might have even drove off the road and ran over something. Just basically he had 3 to 4 issues, or just one of them would make you just the worst.
I think that was
Chuck's bus driver.
I think
right?
that was Chuck's bus driver. I don't remember the part about him cheering against the other team. I remember him wanting to give speeches to the team or something.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was a baseball guy too that wanted to talk to the team once or twice. And there was, I feel like there was, I remember something, I vaguely remember dealing with that at one point as well. So again, they're a different group. They're a different breed. Yeah.
Bus drivers are.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think that they're characteristics of different jobs. I would tell you people in the media have massive egos. Massive. Massive egos. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
Specifically radio and TV, not the newspaper guys. Yeah.
is that a joke?
No, I don't. I think they're more down to earth people.
Oh, no. Baseball writers have the biggest egos of anybody.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, they think they control the baseball world. Mm-hmm. It's not like it used to be, but there's still some of those leftovers from that era. They're baseball. I think media members absolutely have.
I think
big
TV
egos.
guys are worse than radio guys.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It's the and like any stereotype, not all is true for everybody, but I think you're right.
I mean, it's the main reason that David Collier and I don't get along is because we have such massive egos.
I mean,
and
can
so
barely
we
be in the
clash.
same room to
Yeah, we clash so
each other.
much. So
Golly. No doubt. And we barely could get David back in the building.
and that head's pretty large.
What else did I have? Is he texting you? I hope he's texting you.
Yes, he is.
Okay, that didn't take long. Didn't take long.
I don't know that his English is making sense. but
Okay. Did you see the Denzel Clark catch last night?
That was awesome.
Okay, Rob Bro. I had a beef with Rob Bro and what he said earlier. Because he said it was, I don't want to misspeak, but either double or 10 times or something of the Gary Matthews Jr. catch.
Oh, really?
He said it was better than. I think they're pretty equal. Both were amazing. Gary Matthews Jr. did like a 360 with his.
I think his might have been more difficult. Gary Matthews Jr.
I thought so too. And I'm not trying to diminish the Denzel Clark catch. I just heard Bro say that earlier. The Clark catch was amazing. Climbs the wall, goes up and gets it. If you haven't seen it, I implore you to go take a look at it because it was the catch of the year for sure, and probably won't be topped this year. But the A's lost, which is normal for them. Did you see they went 1 for 21 on games? They went 1-20 during a stretch recently. Mm-hmm. It's pretty rough. It's the bottom line on 100.7 Score.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.